Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Blaq, Blaq, your phone ready yet? We waiting on Blaq right now. He said he had to charge his phone or something. I'm not sure what the hell he got going on. But Blaq called me today, cussing. But Blaq done cussed me out probably every day this week. So it's Wednesday. That's 3 days in a row. He was really mad at me today. He was like, "Man, fuck this. I'm tired of cussing you out in private. I need to do this in public." Now he don't cuss me out. I'm lying. He don't be cussing me out, but he certainly definitely is ready to argue or debate, whatever he call it. Arguing or debating, arguing. But he almost ready. I'm gonna play the intro and then we'll see if he got his phone charged up yet. But he's probably hiding right now or trying to get his argument together. He's watching Fox News one last time to get some quick updates. Get some quick updates, but you do one more. We'll play the intro song real quick and then we'll see if you're ready.
You could have subscribed to any other YouTube channel, but you chose to subscribe here. So, hit that notification.
I don't even know what happened there. Let me see. I don't even know what happened there. They just stopped playing. They don't want to play that no more. Let's see if this will work. Yeah, that works. All right, then fine. They ain't going to play the song. Then they ain't going to play it. I don't know why I won't play the damn song. Well, I've never seen that happen before. That's crazy. That's crazy. I might have played it too many times. Broken. Oh, well. You know, but anyway, my name is Adrian. This is Glib Talk. And today, like every other day, I tend to argue with Blaq Rosebudd. Today, we're arguing about Donald Trump. Oh, Blaq got the link. Let me see. Let me put it up here again. And anybody got any questions or something, a topic they want us to talk about, you can type it in the chat, or you can hit the link, come up here and join the conversation if you want to join the conversation. Blaq, there's the link. There's the link, Blaq. You can join if you want, if you're not scared. But yeah, Blaq, he today, the Trump, first off, if you ain't watching the Trump trial, pay attention. This shit is so interesting. So interesting and so damn entertaining. I don't think it's that exciting to hear about a 60-year-old man having sex with a 25-year-old. But I'm enjoying the hell out of the embarrassment that it has to be to sit there with the entire world hearing the story about you, how you had to pay a 25-year-old porn star to have sex with her, and then you had to pay her not to tell nobody. Like, that's got to be hella embarrassing. And there's an entire community of people that follow Trump that are totally okay with the fact that the guy who they say is the equivalent of Jesus to some of them is perfectly cool that he paid this woman for sex, even though he has a wife who was either pregnant or had just had a baby. And they're perfectly fine with it. So I'm enjoying the hell out of the details. And one of these days when I get some time, I'm gonna read it because I think it's hilarious. I thought it was hilarious that that he tried to say she's horse face, she's this, she's that, she's disgusting. Well, she probably is disgusting. She does porn for a living, so she's probably done a lot of disgusting stuff. And probably the most disgusting was to have sex with that guy because she thought that she could get on the damn Apprentice. I thought that was and that's part of the details of what's happening here. She wanted to get on that damn show, The Apprentice, and he's telling these women, hey, hang out with me, I'll get you on the show. Well, he never got her on the show, so she had sex with him for nothing. But well, I guess she had sex with him for a couple $1,000 or something like that, maybe. But yeah, it's like, man, if I had a choice, oh, my mic is low. Let me see. Let me turn this up some. I had to turn it down a little bit earlier. Let me turn it up some. Let's see. I really should practice this more. Let's see. Does that sound better? Oh yeah. Let's see. Let's see if that sounds better. Hopefully it does. Hopefully it sounds better than Mr. One. I'm trying to get it right. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I really don't. Where you at, Blaq? Where you at, Blaq? You're taking too long. It's way past my bedtime. Normally I'm in bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock because I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But the Knicks won. The Knicks won today, so we're excited about that. The Knicks got a chance to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know if you follow the NBA, but it's exciting for the Knicks this year that they finally seem to got a team that has a good enough star and enough heart to keep pushing through. I think they got another man down tonight. They lost Robinson. OG Anunoby seems to have hurt his hamstring with that weird ass layup he did. So it's going to be tough for the Knicks to win with a team full of 6'3" players. But So I'm hoping that they can continue to push through. What's going on, Blaq? Thank you for clicking the link.
What up with it, man?
Hey,
why you didn't explain? Can you explain to the people what the reason for this live?
Oh,
and what is the rules on what we decided?
All right, so these are the rules. There are no rules. Now that I got him here, we throwing that shit out the window. We ain't no damn rules. We fighting to the death.
Yeah, I already know.
Listen, no. I had to make a timer. Listen, I had to make a timer because Blaq said he doesn't like talking to me because I don't give him a chance to talk. He says every time he starts talking, I cut him off. So I had to create a timer for myself. So whenever Blaq is talking, I'm gonna put the timer up so that way I don't cut him off. And I'm gonna try to see if I can go 90 seconds without talking. I don't know if that's possible though. I don't think it's possible, Blaq, to be honest with you. I think that I'm gonna fail this several times tonight.
and why is that? Because you unfair? I mean, why would you set yourself up for failure?
Listen, I'm trying to do better. I've recognized the flaw in myself. So I'm trying
is lying. Either you is or you ain't. You can't say I'm. Look, with you tell your wife, I'm gonna try to do better. What do you think she gonna say? You gonna try, or she want to hear I'm gonna do better? She ain't gonna want to say I would try. You wouldn't accept somebody say, hey, Adrian, your wife come and say, oh, I'll try to love you better.
Hey, Blaq, you know how I say everything goes back to Donald Trump? You know how I do that, right? Everything goes back to Donald Trump. I heard from a great man one time named Donald Trump. This guy, they said something about him selling Mar-a-Lago. And they said, well, you can't sell Mar-a-Lago as a residential because you turned it into a club. It's in the contract. You agreed to that. He says, well, I agreed to that. That don't mean I'm gonna do it. So hey, I'm telling you that I'm not gonna talk for 90 seconds while you talk, but that don't mean I'm gonna do it.
Wow. So in other words, you're trying to say the point what I was saying is exactly right. You cut people off and you gotta have the last word and you always right. So if you can't control yourself is right, that means the other things I was saying was right too. You gotta have the last word, you know everything, all your self-respect, all my shit is wrong. So just don't leave it off at one part, you know what I'm saying? The cutting off, say the whole thing.
Hey, listen, you just because you was right about one thing doesn't mean you was right about all of them. So you know what I'm saying? I've accepted that I cut people off when I'm talking, especially when they're saying something I don't agree with. I say, wait a second, hold on, back up. Rewind back to that last sentence. Let's talk about that in particular. I don't want you to keep going further. I want you to stop. But I recognize that that's a problem for you because you say you got a lot of shit you're trying to say, and when I stop you, it messes you up. So I'm gonna stop.
Hey, for the record and everybody listening, right? This is the longest probably Adrian have listened to me and let me rebuttal since we've been talking. This right here, this. If we could talk like this and have a debate like this, it wouldn't need to be no coming on here because I would have been able to explain what I was trying to say. Now, the reason why I want an audience, right? Because, like I tell Adrian, he got his side and his facts and his opinions, and I got my sides and my facts and my opinion. But it's not up to us to decide what's the facts and the opinions is. It's up to the people listening. So this argument or this debate or this, discussion is not to for us to tell you what a fact is, right? It's for you to understand exactly, right, what position we are taking and why we are taking our position. And you can decide for yourself who should stick with their position and who should abandon their position, or who position this don't make no sense, right? Now, if my position don't make no sense, I'm man enough to accept that. But if Adrian doesn't make no sense, people in the chat have to also, in order to make Adrian stronger and keep the truth in, y'all also have to let him know instead of be like, oh, you know what? It's all right that he's wrong. I'm still, no, if he's wrong and it doesn't make sense, you have to let him know because this is what the debate is. This was something, you know what I'm saying? We basing facts, opinions, and all that. Everything we say ain't fact. Everything we say ain't gonna be right. Some of the things we gonna say gonna be wrong, but we gonna make mistakes and all that. But it's for you to decide, you know what I'm saying, who point is stronger.
Okay. Okay. I got you, Blaq. Okay, so how about this?
See, okay, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. You about to say something? You were cutting me off, but it's cool. Go ahead.
No, I shut down. I said my bad.
Just go ahead and finish. Just go. Because I know what I'm about to say. So just go ahead and say what you're about to say.
I might say we're gonna be short, but this is exactly. But the reason I said that because when you do have a trial or something like that, you tell the jury exactly what the rules are. You know what I'm saying, and what they're supposed to be looking for.
Right. So
that's why.
So one of the rules is that I'm not going to talk right while he's talking, and he's not going to talk when I'm talking, and we're going to try to find an interesting topic to discuss. And if you guys got something you want us to talk about, you can type it in the chat, and we'll just talk about that. But I want to talk about this Donald Trump and the lion shit, right? Because I was working on something that says everything Trump says is a lie. All right. Have you heard me say this before, Blaq? Everything Trump says is a lie. Okay. So this won't be new to you, but you heard Donald Trump.
Hit the
timer. Okay. You
Hit
heard
the timer.
You've heard Donald Trump say.
No, is the timer on?
The timer's on. Can you see the screen?
Okay.
Can you see me?
My shit is small. I owe you 10 seconds.
Oh.
Claim your 10 seconds.
All right, so check it out, right? Damn. Donald Trump said he can't testify because of the gag order. You heard him say that? You believe that?
Yes.
So you believe he can't testify because of the gag order? Because he said it?
No.
Oh, you don't believe it?
No.
So we both agree that he lied there?
Yes.
Okay, so okay, man, this has never happened before, Blaq. You've never not defended the position because it was Trump.
Your minute is almost up.
My minute is almost up, and I don't even have anything to argue about because there's nothing to defend. Because Donald Trump said I can't testify because of the gag order. Then he came back out the next day and says, "Oh, wait a minute, it's ridiculous that anyone would say I can't testify because of the gag order. Of course I can testify." And then the next day they asked me if he's going to testify, and he says, "I can't even talk about whether I can testify or not." Because I got a gag order. And I'm like, this motherfucker losing his damn mind. But I was happy that the damn judge came out and told his dumbass, hey, just so that way everyone's clear, you can testify. And Donald Trump he didn't have an out. And the judge didn't allow him to have an out. So I thought that was kind of dope. But you don't want to argue about that, so there's no argument there. Could you hear that?
I will make your minute up, right?
Yeah, my minute is up.
First of all, Donald Trump have the right and the right not to testify in his own trial. And when he say he has a gag order, when you place a gag order on somebody, right, the judge didn't say the stipulations, right? And who's to say if he was to say something about something or somebody on stand that he won't be penalized for, right? Because it's certain stipulations on the gag order, right? And one of the gag orders was you're not supposed to talk about nobody, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. So what if Donald Trump went on trial and he actually wanted to call somebody a liar or say he didn't do something like that? Now, he just got sued for a defamation suit saying he didn't have sex with somebody, right? Stormy Daniels owe him money right now for defaming his character. What sense does it make for Donald Trump to go up there and say anything about anybody? Because right now, he thinking even if he get convicted, he can win his case on appeal. So why get up there and incriminate himself or possibly set himself?
Oh, we lost you, Blaq. Where'd you go? Uh-oh. Hey, Blaq, you dropped out. He about to drop down. His picture went up. We lost you for the last 20 seconds, but I'll just comment on it. You'll come back in and you'll hear this. First off, the judge told Donald Trump, right, that he could talk about the judge and other people and other things, but he can't talk about witnesses. And two, he can't talk about the extrajudicial, the conversation that he can have. Hey, you're back.
Oh, hold on. I'm back. All right. Now I didn't hear what you said. I was finished.
Okay. So the judge said that
your minute and a half is going, right?
No, I just started.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So the judge said Donald Trump can talk, but he can't talk about witnesses. He can't talk about people that's going to testify. He can't talk about the jury, but he could talk about the case, and he could talk about what's happening. He just can't talk about the people in the case specifically. Certainly can't threaten people, talking to people, that type of shit. Secondly, the judge said extrajudicial. So while he's on the stand, he can talk, but when he's off the stand, he's not supposed to be talking, right? Especially not about people. And they laid out specifically who they were. So when Donald Trump gets up there and says that shit, it's 100% a lie. And he knows it's a lie. And the judge told him exactly this on Friday. Exactly that statement on Friday. Second, there was another thing you said. You said something about damn, I forgot because you dropped out and I was gone. So, but yeah, that's the only argument I got right there. Is that the Trump knows what he can and can't say, and he doesn't care what he can and can't say. He's playing the people who believe that he's this big, strong, tough guy. Oh yeah, I forgot. You said Stormy Daniels lost a defamation suit. Stormy Daniels sued Donald Trump for defamation and lost. Donald Trump didn't sue her. And Donald Trump was found guilty of defamation, but it wasn't because of what he said on the stand in his case where he could have defended himself. It happened when he was standing in front of the cameras talking shit about somebody. So it ain't got nothing to do with what he say on stand.
So your time is up. The reason why I brought up what he says on the stand, because the judge said strictly talk about the case. If he goes off the case, even when he's on the stand, he's facing possible fine or imprisonment, right? Because he's supposed to talk about the case. You just said that, right? Now, is people up here saying he possibly raped them, that they were scared, saying she hate him, right? She owe him money, she'll never pay him, right? And he's and no ain't no telling what Michael Cohen's going to get up there and say, and he's not supposed to talk about any of the witnesses, right? Due to the gag order, which is actually smart. The one of the stupidest things the Democrats could have done is shut Donald Trump up and not let him talk and make a mistake or say something that they can use, right? Yeah. That was the mistake that they made. But since he shut up, and every time people want him to talk, he be like, hey, I can't talk because I got a gag. It's smart of him. Because when people wanted him to talk, when he was talking, people, shut him up, and they cut his interviews off, or we're not going to cover that, and all he's going to do is lie. Now everybody's begging him to talk. Donald Trump, please say something. Can you answer this? Can you answer that? And he just sitting back saying, hey, I can't say nothing. I want to say something about y'all. I can't say nothing. That's smart of him.
Hey, I can agree with that. As far as Donald Trump, if you could agree that Donald Trump doesn't love the attention and he's not doing it for a self-serving reason. Because see, I would argue with you, right, that Donald Trump and all of the grandstanding that he does is self-serving. He wants the attention. He's happy to be on the cover of every magazine and newspaper and part of every news headline, whether it's good or bad. He wants people talking about him. So I don't know that it's he's doing it to hurt anybody. I think it's hurt him more. The MSNBC doesn't have his quotes. They ain't gonna stop talking about him. They don't need his quotes to talk about him. And that's the part that's pissing him off with Michael Cohen and all these other people talking shit about him. They don't really need him to talk about him. They got enough shit on him from the past, and they're just using that shit. They ain't brought up no new shit about Donald Trump yet. They still talking about 1999 and 2006. There ain't no new shit. Ain't no new shit on Trump.
Okay. Now, You say Donald Trump is happy to be on all the magazines and all the TV stations and things like that. He's running for president. Who wouldn't want to be? You don't think Joe Biden want to be going to car races and everybody saying USA? You don't think Joe Biden want to go to basketball games, football games, MMA, wrestling, and hear Trump 4 more years? Everywhere Joe Biden go, they say fuck Joe Biden, genocide Joe. Joe can't go nowhere and get no group of people to support him. Donald Trump goes everywhere: NASCAR, chicken places, construction sites, police, firemen, everywhere. He's celebrated. Joe Biden is not even celebrating his hometown, right? So when you say something about he want to be seen, Donald Trump is not asking for the attention; they're giving it to him.
Well, I guess that's one way to look at it. I mean, Donald Trump throws a big rally, right? And they say there's room. In fact, I got an invitation for a Trump rally right now on my phone this weekend. I'm not going, but I got it. There's 2 tickets for someone that wants to go to a Trump rally if they got some cash. I'll hook them up in New Jersey. But Trump is the one that needs the audience and the crowd. He's the one that's grandstanding, that's out there every day trying to get people to listen to him and follow him around. Joe Biden, as a matter of fact, Joe Biden gave a great speech today. Talking shit about Trump in Wisconsin. Specifically called Trump out, talking about. You didn't see his speech today? What Joe Biden said about the 3 million?
Is that what we're debating?
No.
Is this your point?
No.
I didn't see a speech.
I'm
gonna let you talk. I didn't see a speech. I'm muting. I didn't see a speech.
All right. So you mentioned Joe Biden and him not getting anybody, but he had a lot of people out there today. They was clapping and dancing because he's bringing down, like 5,000, 6,000 jobs. They're building a $3 billion plant in Wisconsin, on the land where Donald Trump stood This is how they trolled Trump today. 7 years ago, Donald Trump stood on the same land and said, we're going to build a $10 billion plant here, and it's going to be all this and all that. Never happened. It never happened. For whatever reason, it didn't materialize. But Donald Trump stood there. They had a golden shovel. They dug a little dirt. And today, Microsoft is going to build a plant there for AI, or they're building an AI server farm there. I guess they're going to do some type of AI research and study. But Joe Biden stood there.
Your
because,
phone going in and out.
Oh, is it my phone going out? Or you going in and out? But Joe, so
your time is up.
My time. You heard that part. You couldn't hear shit else, but my time is up. I'm about to find that clip.
I was trying to tell you. I was saying your time was up for the longest, but I was on mute.
Oh, let me start finding that shit today. That Joe Biden, that clip today with Joe Biden clowning Trump.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is Donald Trump is up in every possible category besides democracy, what Joe Biden is not up that much by what he claimed Donald Trump is trying to steal, and abortion. On every other thing, Donald Trump is up. And what I say to Adrian and people who think like Adrian, right? Like, it only fits the narrative when it's something wrong about Donald Trump. If it's something, if we say the economy was good under Donald Trump, no, it wasn't. It's better under Joe Biden. What people don't fail to realize is why a lot of black people is going and supporting Trump is because no matter what or how someone else was living, they was living better. Adrian, me and you, I done a experiment with you the other day. I told Adrian I'm finna go down the street, and the 5 first black people I see, I'm going to ask them if they voted for Joe Biden or Donald Trump. I do this on an everyday basis, right? That's how I know 9 out of 10 black people in Los Angeles is voting for Donald Trump. Mexicans too. The love and authenticity and the support that Donald Trump has is real. No one, every time you heard someone say Joe Biden, they said fuck Joe Biden. Every single time I mentioned Joe Biden's name in these streets, they said fuck Joe Biden. They're mad at Joe Biden. They're not angry at Trump. And tell me I'm lying.
Listen, you're not lying about that. You ain't like all the people that you talk to on the street. Now, whether they voters or not is another question. Now, they may say I wouldn't vote for Joe Biden, but that first lady you talked to said I can't vote, but if I could vote, I wouldn't vote for Biden. Well, that sounds like it's a vote for Biden. It sounds like it's a vote for Biden. If she can't vote for Trump, it's one more for Biden. But nah, you're right. It all the metric. No, wait, it's my turn now. The metric that you use to determine whether it's good or bad.
I'll shut up.
Has to be established. It sounds like there might be a little bit of delay between.
I think your phone breaking up again. Your phone breaking up again. Ask the people in the chat. Hey, I don't know if it's my.
You know, I think it's a delay between me and you. Drop down and come back up real quick. Yeah, let me see. I'm not sure if the delay's on my ends. What's up, Gears? He must be on a Trump phone. Oh, he definitely on a Trump phone. It's either a Trump phone he gave him or a Trump branded phone. One of the two. You can hear me now?
Hold on. Say what?
I said, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, bet. All right, so look, right? What I was saying was out here, I'm starting the timer so that way you won't say I'm cheating and shit. So look, right? The metric that you use to determine whether the economy is good or bad, right? You could look at the metric of job creation. Well, Joe Biden is doing great in job creation. For whatever the reason is, his 4 years, doing great. Donald Trump had one of the worst 4 years of job creation for any president, for whatever the reason was. But that's the metric. So if you're saying, hey, look, one person lost all these jobs and one person gained all these jobs without any other measure to determine what caused it, if you just look at those numbers, you could say, wow, how is that? Like Donald Trump says he had the greatest economy ever. But when you compare his economy to any other economy, take away all of the metrics, take away anything that's specific for him, how is he measuring that his economy was the best? He isn't measuring it. He just says it. There's nothing to measure it against. When I talk about Joe Biden or what's good or bad in Joe Biden's economy or in his administration, I speak specifically to the metric that I'm using. So if I say the economy is doing good, I say it's because the stock market's at an all-time high. When I say the job market is doing good, I say because the unemployment's at an all-time low. I'm not just saying, Donald Trump, it's the best because it's Biden and it's the worst because it was Trump. I'm using the metric. So it's not really a debate for me of whether it's good or bad. I just say we got an all-time high for the stock market and we probably going to hit another one next week. So it seems like we're doing all right.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Now I want the people in the chat.
What's up, Dre? What's up, QST?
Hey, QST and whoever in the chat, I want them to hear. I hope see that they hear your side, what you just explained.
Yeah, they can hear me just fine. I think they can hear you.
They heard your whole soliloquy, right?
Yeah.
Now I want you to hear mine. And I tell you this all the time. You talk about the stock market. I talk about people's pocket. The people I talk to on the street, they don't know shit about no stocks, no percentages, no bonds. They don't know shit about that. They know about eggs. They know about school clothes. They know about school supplies. They know about gas. They know about rent, right? They know about layoffs, right? They know about high-ass prices when you go out to do anything in LA, right? They know the way they was living 4 years ago is way more expensive. Everything has doubled, right? So when you say stocks and bonds and all that shit, it's like talking rocket scientists to a motherfucking wino. They don't understand that. They only understand what they have in their pocket. They don't understand those stocks and with every and job percentages and unemployment under that. You can't tell no starving ass kid who's dirty and sleeping with the lights off that the stock market is doing good. You can't tell no kid that's hungry at night, you know what I'm saying, that unemployment is low. You can't tell no mama who can't feed her kids that the stock market has never been this good. They don't give a fuck.
Okay. All right. That's facts. those are facts. You're right. You're right. But if you're gonna say here, let me start the timer for myself. If you're gonna say that Donald Trump had the greatest economy that was generated by his tax cuts, you have to admit that the tax cuts that he gave was for the billionaire class and for the wealthy. And the Republicans will argue that, oh, that's how we stimulate the economy because we give the tax breaks to the rich and then they invest that money and create more jobs. Well, the same person who has to pay high ass prices and doesn't have enough money to survive is still in the same position when the tax break and the credits go to the wealthy class. Matter of fact, I just read an article maybe like an hour ago about how the oil industry, the regulate the influencers of the oil industry have got together and they've written the executive orders for Trump because they're like, listen, last time you fucked this up, right? You didn't do it right. You didn't do it fast enough. So they have written the executive orders to deliver the Trump on the first day so they can make sure they get their money. Now, how does that money trickle down to everybody else? It don't, right? Because like you say, the people who are going to benefit are going to be wealthy, but that dirty ass kid that doesn't have any food is still going to be hungry, waiting for that shit to trickle on down the way that the Republicans say it's going to get there. It ain't getting there.
You finished?
Yeah.
Now, first of all, if you want to talk about who pays the taxes, the top 1% pays over 60% of the taxes, right? The top 5% pays over 80% of the taxes. The bottom 10% don't pay no taxes. The bottom 15% pay 5% of the taxes. So when you say the tax cut is only helping the rich, you're right. Because only the rich is paying taxes. You think somebody is working as security guard at a motherfucking Subway, getting $150 ticket out of his check every week is going to do some motherfucking damage or really going to contribute to society? Or you think that millionaire who's paying property tax, sales taxes, and all that is his income is going to make some more money? The bottom half doesn't pay no taxes. So the tax, like Floyd Mayweather say, if you don't pay no motherfucking taxes, you don't understand. If I don't pay no taxes, I don't understand because it's not coming out of my pocket. So I can complain all I want to. But the people who is paying $1 million, they love that tax cut. And guess what? They create more money with them tax cuts. You didn't hear black people complain about, oh, Donald Trump giving people rich people tax cuts. They didn't know. All they know was they was getting opportunities. They didn't give a fuck about a tax cut.
Well, like I said, I guess that's one way to look at it, right? You could just say, well, as long as the rich are getting richer and they benefit from it, I guess it's a great thing. But I would just argue that in a society that has so much wealth, I would prefer to be on the side where the government says we're going to try to raise up the level of those who don't have versus trying to continue to contribute to those who have the most, even though they benefit from those who have the least in order for them to continue to make their money. Like, for instance, the oil industry is only allowed to make so much money because the people who were there first were able to stake this claim to this land to get this oil. But the reality is that without our ingenuity and without the development of our society, meaning everything that we use that comes from the oil, the roads that we drive on, the infrastructure that we have that allows them to make money, it wouldn't matter that they put an oil well on their land and they got the money. They got there first. The same as the people in Saudi Arabia who have oil fields, or in Venezuela that have oil fields but can't make any money because they ain't got shit to do with it, right? They're like, okay, so now what? Now I'm on top of oil, now what? I guess I'll have to sell this land to someone who can figure out what to do with it because there's nothing to do with it. In our society, the infrastructure is what makes it so that way those people can earn. And for whatever reason, the Republicans have convinced the poor people that it's better for the rich to benefit from the infrastructure of our society versus them.
Well, we live in America, and everyone has the opportunity. There's plenty of stories of someone going going from nothing to something. This is the only country you can do that in because we have a system where you can take advantage of certain things, like selling cigarettes or selling CDs or making music, you know what I'm saying, or selling dresses or sewing shit or making soap and shit like this. We're the only country where you can become a millionaire from nothing. And the only reason why is that because we live in a capitalist country, you know what I'm saying, and we don't live in a country where the government supposedly don't hop in your business. Even though with the democratic rule, it's more and more regulations and people getting in your business and people getting in your money. But small government and regulations in capitalism is what made America great. There's no other country, right, that done the experiment. That's why they call America an experiment, because we the only country experimented with this shit. There has been no other country have experimented with this shit. And that's why we're successful, because our system. And if you want to adopt another system from another country that wasn't proven successful, go on ahead. But why stop with a system that's guaranteed to be that's guaranteed success? Now, when you talk about the tax breaks, the rich is supposed to get rich off of taxes, because guess what? It's their money they're getting back.
Well, that's a way. That is a way to look at it. That is a way to look at it, right? You can say it's their money, so they deserve it back. And I would go back and say, without the infrastructure of America, which is not just paid by rich taxes, paid by all of our taxes, right? It's not. It requires the American worker, right? The American worker has to be available for these American companies to benefit from their labor. So it's like you can't just say, oh, Microsoft appeared out of nowhere, right? And for some reason in Seattle, there's all of these people who are educated and qualified to do this work. Where the fuck they come from and where they get educated? The taxes that we all pay that funds the public school system, right? The taxes that we all pay that go toward these federal loans and grants that pay for these kids to go to school so they can get educated, so they can become viable employees that Microsoft shouldn't have to pay to make these people be a viable resource for them so they can make more money off their labor. Like, that's the part that kind of blows my mind, because it's like they want to make it as if the people who are paying the most taxes are only in the position to get it by their own circumstance. But I
probably got dropped back down. Because I'm really not hearing you again.
Oh yeah.
You sure that's not your phone?
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking to you through the mic, but it's probably StreamYards. It's probably you think it'd be better if we was on Messenger? You can hear that though. You hear that now. You cut me off because my time is up. You wanted to kill me. I had a good argument.
I gotta let you get that time over because I didn't hear you. I gotta let you get that time over because I didn't hear you.
Here, you want to call on Messenger?
I can't rebut. I gotta let you. Oh, I gotta let you get that time over. I didn't hear you.
Hey, they can hear you, but for whatever reason, you can't hear me.
I've been drop out and come.
Hey, just call me on Messenger.
I've been drop out and come back in.
All right, do that. Listen, for some reason, whenever I'm making a good point, he can't hear me no more. He got to drop down and come back. I got you. I know the game. I know the game. You know what I'm saying? This is Republican game they got to play. Whenever it's like, Dan, that was a good point he was making. Let me drop down real quick. And I'm like, I can't hear him. I can't hear shit he's saying. You heard everything I was saying. What's up, Andre? He heard everything I was saying. He just knew that he didn't want to have to respond to that one. So look, let me see. Let me go back to my list of shit that I had over here while he's fixing his damn phone. All right, Donald Trump. Oh, I talked about the delivering the pizzas. Have y'all seen that shit? Hold on a second. Oh yeah,
totally.
All right. So Donald Trump, I argued with Blaq about this, about the hypocrisy, and even Black Rosebudd displayed the hypocrisy, because first he argued about how the poor people don't got shit, and then when I mentioned about the tax cuts, he says, well, the poor people don't need shit, the rich people need it. So that's instant hypocrisy, how we changed this position about poor people and rich people and helping them. He doesn't want to help them when the Republicans in power, because basically the taxes should go to the rich, or the tax breaks should be for the rich. But he switches that position real fast when you go the other way. This is a 14-second clip. Hold on. Let me bring Blaq up so you can hear this too. All right, Blaq, you back. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I switched phones.
All right, I'm gonna play this hypocrisy here because I know how Republicans don't.
What
care.
you were talking about? Can you give me a something? What you talking about? I couldn't hear nothing.
I'm about to start fresh because I haven't played this yet. I was waiting for you to get here. So here, listen to this.
Okay, go ahead.
The judge is totally conflicted.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, hold on a second. I think I may have to share the screen with you so you can hear it. So here, let me just give me one.
Wait a minute. I can't push mute on this motherfucker. Hold on, I can push mute and turn on the phone.
Nah,
on the YouTube.
I gotta share with you here.
I can hit on YouTube. I can cut the mic off and hit on YouTube. Play YouTube.
No,
on my other phone.
You ain't gotta do that, man. I got you right here, man. Don't worry about it. Just give me one more second. I'll have it ready. All right, so here, you should be able to hear this now.
Yeah, the judge is totally conflicted.
You hear that?
No.
Oh, come on, but you can hear this. Okay, here, I'm gonna play it. It's only 14 seconds. I'll play it.
Yeah, the judge is totally conflicted. Totally, absolutely.
Hold on, let me put mute on the thing.
He's rushing this case through. The government just said that they want 2 to 3 more weeks. That means they want to keep me off the trail.
9:35
more weeks. Yeah,
did you hear that? Look, Donald Trump. Look,
Donald Trump. Hold on.
Yeah, hit mute. All right, so look, Donald Trump came out there talking about how they're trying to rush the case. Then he comes back out there 2 weeks later and says, it's taking too long. It shouldn't take this long. Like, wait a minute, hold on a second. Do you want it to be fast or you want it to be slow? Which one you want it to be? You can't have both ways, Donald Trump. You can't be both. You're gonna be either fast or slow. Which one you want? Blaq is muted. I don't know what he's doing.
I want whatever one that's going to benefit me. I've done the same thing when I was in court.
Yeah.
I want whatever's going to benefit me. If the prosecution not ready, I'm ready. If they is ready, I'm not.
Yeah.
That's a strategy.
And you see what happened in Georgia?
I mean, when you go into a game, Adrian, when you go into a game, you have a game plan, right? And part of the court game plan, if anybody know, is to extend the time for as long as possible, unless the DA and the public defender got their shit together. Other than that, you will steal shit because you never know what's going to happen.
Well, I can.
Anybody in the chat know that?
I understand it. I just don't understand how we can go out there and say it with a straight face and not that we ain't hear what he said the other time. That's what I'm saying.
Well, how do you understand it and then say you can't say you don't understand how you can say it with a straight face? What he's doing is he's taking advantage of the DA fucking up, because if they ain't got the paperwork right, I'm ready. I'm ready, but they not ready. If they got the paperwork ready, hey man, I need more time because my defense needs to investigate what you got so we can come up with a defense to come up with your guy. So let us see the new evidence you got. Okay, now we need some extra time because we need to investigate this.
They don't need no extra time. They got all the time in the damn world. Donald Trump, listen, hey, you put me on to something today too. You told me about Donald Trump's his security guard. What's his name? Robert Tyus. Utsi. Robert Utsi, that motherfucker. Now he's probably a good man, ex-cop. He's probably a good guy. So I read that article from the New York Times, right? And this is what they said about Trump in the article. I thought this was interesting. This article was written in 1976. He said, when asked whether he thought Mr. Trump had any shortcomings, the architect replied, he's extremely aggressive when he sells, maybe to the point of overselling. Like he'll say the convention center is the biggest in the world when it really isn't. He'll exaggerate for the purpose of making a sale. The architect broke into a big smile. That Donald, he said admiringly, he could sell sand to the Arabs and refrigerator to the Eskimos.
What's wrong with that? Did he write the book called The Art of the Deal?
Hey, he wrote the art.
Wasn't he the trade war with China? Then when he made China buckle, and before the COVID, he made China buckle. He was the Art of the Deal. Wasn't he making deal with Saudi Arabia for all those shit? He wrote the Art of the Deal. He was making deals with Russia. He was making deals with every country in the fucking world. That's why the world was at peace. He made a deal with the Arabs Accord over there in the Middle East. Got the Muslim countries together. So when you say Donald Trump make deals, that's part of what he do.
Okay, so let me see which one I talk about first. The trade deal with China did not end up in America's favor, and if you don't believe that, you can ask the American farmers about that and the subsidies that America had to provide to make it even get close to be even. The cost of goods went up. The cost of goods went up based on Donald Trump's deals, as far as the tariffs that he decided to put on goods. Steel in particular, he put tariffs on Chinese steel, which meant that the cost of construction went up. The cost of manufacturing went up. And the people who had to turn to an American source couldn't find an American source quick enough to supply them because they were already in a supply chain using China. So it didn't help. It hurt more than it helped. And we lost more in those trade deals than we won. The Arab Accords was only a deal for Israel, the Arab Emirates, it wasn't even Saudi Arabia. It was the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and there was one other country that agreed that they would trade money, and it would. No, I got 30 seconds left. That they would trade money. It ain't had nothing to do with the countries who's actually fighting with fucking Israel. It ain't had nothing to do with fucking the Palestinians. It ain't nothing to do with Iran, Iraq. Nothing to do with anyone who doesn't like Israel and who's actively engaging in combat with them. It had to do with countries as far as trading goods. And what it actually did was allowed America to sell arms to countries that we didn't want to sell arms to. And it allowed fucking Jared Kushner to get a $2 billion fucking, somehow he's doing some type of fund management for the Saudis because of that deal that he pulled off. So I'm not sure where world peace came from.
Now, I didn't say anything about world peace. We were talking about with the order of the deal, and I was telling you about the deals he made. Now, when you want to talk about war, peace, and war, that's something you added on. I didn't say anything about a war. I was only talking about the deals he made with China, the deals he made with Russia, the deals he made with the Middle East countries. I didn't say anything. I add anything or nothing, right? Now, the things with the Arabs, everyone said that was a good deal because these countries was never in the trade talks. He opened up trade talks, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, it was built for them Arab countries. Them Arab countries, right? The Arab court even good today, right? You know what I'm saying? In the Middle East, is working today. Now, as far as the Chinese deal you talking about, I don't know what the fuck you talking about because the deals with the farmers only didn't go because of COVID. You know what I'm saying? When Donald Trump got on there talking about the China flu and all that old shit, that's when the deal went off. Because Xi didn't want to live up to his end of the deal. It was for soybeans or something like that. And then when Joe Biden got into office, Joe Biden put a regulation on that, and then he took the sanctions off of China. You know what I'm saying? So China wasn't hurting as much as they was hurting when Donald Trump was in office. He took the sanctions off of China, right, and allowed China to buy land, right, in America. Allowed them to more trade opportunities in America. That's why Joe Biden get up there and say, I don't want to be adversaries with China. I want to be a partner with China because Donald Trump raped China. Joe Biden is letting China breathe.
I don't know how true that is, Blaq, but I can tell you that I got a report in front of me right now about the China and American trade war, and it says the estimates suggest that the United States would have avoided trade war export losses of $24 billion in 2018 and $30 billion in 2019. Exports would have also been 27 billion higher in 2020 and 40 billion% higher in 21 than under phase one. Without the export losses of 2018 and 19, taxpayers would also have not needed to foot the bill for tens of billions of dollars of farm subsidies. Now, I don't know what you're talking about when you say that we won. It sounds like we didn't win. If we had to pay all this extra money just to break fucking even. what happened was China agreed to buy a bunch of shit, and then China said we're not going to buy that shit. So I don't know what trade war they won. China said, "No, what? We're not going to do it." Now what? And that's what happened. So China didn't fulfill their end of the deal, and America got stuck. Yeah, we put tariffs on the Chinese goods, but they were like, "Well, fuck it. You don't buy the shit, don't buy it. We don't give a fuck." So America didn't win the trade war with China. It was a loss. Even though Donald Trump says it was a win, the numbers do not say that it was a win for America. And I didn't start the timer, so I'm gonna just stop right there.
Okay, now when you say it was a loss for America, I don't know any economist besides the report you read that said it was a loss. Every economist doing that deal said that was a good deal because in that deal it also had the fentanyl deal up in there too, and that was part of the deal because Donald Trump said, I'm not going to do a deal unless y'all do something with the fentanyl. And remember, I've done a skit on that. Donald Trump went over there, right, and told him at the table about the fentanyl must stop in front of everybody, right? The next week, Mike Pompeo and the United States government, they done a fentanyl ring and set like that. All them motherfucking Chinese scientists got busted. Some of them got put to death, right? When Joe Biden got in office, all that shit stopped. So when you say Donald Trump lost the deal, right? How did he lose the deal when he got them to put extra laws on fentanyl makers and shit like that? And he got the deal a couple of $1 billion for the farmers that China backed out of when Joe Biden got in office. Look when the deal was signed. It was signed in 2019. So how did he lose a trade war?
Hey, I don't know how he won or lost a trade war. All I know is what it says when I type it into Google, and Google gives me 1,000 articles telling me that why it was bad. I even did a Google search that said how was it good, and all it came back with results about how it was bad. So I don't know. I don't know if it was good at all. I'm gonna guess that it probably wasn't good, but it's possible that there was some good in it. But when I look at the numbers and what these reports say, and obviously I'm not an economist and I didn't write these reports, so I didn't do the research. All I'm doing is reading what they say. It doesn't appear as if we broke even on this deal. It seems like we were on the negative side of the deal because America, the taxpayer, had to front the bill to make it so that way the farmers could be whole because of the trade deal. Because this was the fight that Donald Trump wanted. And this is what he promised that he could win. He keeps saying that he won it, but the numbers don't show that. And you can't show me that the numbers do show that. I don't believe you can. I would give you a chance to, but I don't believe it's possible.
I keep on. You keep on saying show you the numbers, and I keep on telling you that there was no number because China backed out about the deal.
All I know is that I had 30 seconds left.
Oh my bad.
But you've been good so far. Though. It's been cool though. You've been cool. But that's it though. You know what I'm saying? I would just challenge you to show the metric that you're using to say that it was good. Because I can find plenty of areas where they say that it wasn't good. And apparently China didn't buy the goods that said they were going to buy. So they backed out of the deal. They didn't even fulfill it. So it sounds like even if Trump says it was a win, the only win was that it was a tie. Maybe it was a tie, but it doesn't sound like it was even a tie.
I'll give you some extra time because you know what I'm saying, so go a little longer.
You know, give me some extra time. All right, so listen, I want to play this video where it says stop the count and stop the count and keep counting the votes because I thought that was hilarious. I saw that today. I said I forgot about that, how crazy that shit was, because the Trump supporters needed both ways. They needed both. They needed however it is you got to win. That's the debate. We're gonna do whatever it takes to win. Whatever that might be. You know, I saw something else today too. I got another category I got here called people going to jail for Trump. Which
did we take questions from the audience yet?
No, we haven't had any questions from the audience. Let me see. 3000 Degrees said Man, you have other people coming from other countries and get all the perks that America has to offer, including tax breaks. But people who are born here don't get those same opportunities. Not playing. So I saw somebody had posted something from Wisconsin, and they were talking about a person came into the restaurant with one of those government cards, and it was I'm not sure what type of immigrant status that person was, whether they was a transient or whether they was an asylum seeker, but for whatever reason they have one of them government cards that have money on it, and the woman told the person, "We're not going to serve you because we're not going to because I got to work and pay taxes. We're not going to serve you because you're coming in here with this free money, so we don't want your money." And I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know, what the circumstance is for people who are not American born receiving the resources. Everybody's circumstance is different. But I think if we're going to judge people based on that about whether they were here or whether they're from here, I think we have bigger problems to solve if that's how we're going to treat people. I thought it was kind of fucked up.
What?
I thought it was kind of fucked up when the article that I read. Yeah. I thought it was because you don't know.
But what the person is trying to say, you have to take care of your own people before you take care of somebody else, right? Adrian, use that in your own life, right? That's like you saying you're gonna go feed your neighbor kids before you feed your kids, right? Because you like your neighbor kids and they hungry, right? No matter how hungry the neighbor kid is, or no matter how unsafe or dirty or whatever the problems is, you're gonna make sure your household is fixed first before you do anything. That's how you keep your household strong. That's how you keep your kids safe. That's how you keep your kids productive, you know what I'm saying, and getting what they deserve on what you work for. You don't invite other people over your house to eat.
That's interesting. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that 100%. I think most of it I agree with. Like, I take care of myself first. I put on my gas mask first, right? I put on my gas mask first. That's why when you hear me talking about trying to fix things in our society or our world, I talk about me, and I talk about things that I have a direct influence on. I don't really see, not that I don't see the value in helping everybody, but I can greater see the value in helping those closest to the ones who will have an area influence on. So I agree with you when you're talking about helping those that are close enough to you. But to say that in our society, in America, we're helping everybody. And I don't care what you say. We're helping everybody from the richest all the way to the poorest. We're helping everybody. Businesses are receiving all kinds of tax breaks, benefits, subsidies from the government, and they will still come up there and point to the poorest person and say, why would you give that person $100 worth of food stamps? When this business, I work for a company called Bose. And when I worked for Bose, they had a subsidy from the government. The government of South Carolina, they had free land to build their factory on. They got the building for free. They just had to remodel the building for their own purposes. And they had 10 years, no taxes. 10 years of no taxes. That is free. That is free. That is welfare to a $1 billion corporation. And that $1 billion corporation will convince politicians to tell poor people that $100 in food stamps is too much for them when they gave this company billions of dollars in tax breaks so they can earn multi-billion dollars. It's insane to me.
So them same people who getting the tax breaks also pay taxes. What people are saying is there ought to be some incentive to things, right? Back in the days, you used to have to work to get your food stamps and your GR. They cut that shit out. You used to have to go to a park, swimming pool. You used to have to work 5 days a week. What people are saying is have some type of welfare reform and just don't have people living off the system their whole life, you know what I'm saying, and getting comfortable off of it and not being productive members of society and paying taxes. That's all they said. Like, and I understand that, like, today, a girl, and it's big in LA, trying to offer you free phones. Every time I get asked, do I want a free phone at least 10 times a day, right? And I say, I don't want no free phone. I'd rather work for mine. They said, but you are paying for it. They said, try to use the same thing you use. I said, I said, somebody paying for it, but it's not. I'm paying for my own phone. If I buy that phone, somebody else gonna be paying for that phone. I want to hustle for mine. I don't want to live off the government. I gotta take advantage of them and do other shit, but I don't want to be this free this and free that, you know what I'm saying, and live off the government and let the government be a crutch. It's a mentality that motherfuckers have that you can keep black people enslaved. Just give them a little crumbs, and shit like that. And they're going to stay comfortable. See, I know a lot of people on welfare. I know a lot of people on DR. I know a lot of crackheads and shit like that, right? I see how trapped and how sick these people are because people, they say they're poor, they're you know what I'm saying? So we need to take care of them. We need to let them do what they need to do because they're mentally ill or whatever. Them people were productive members of society before, and they can be again.
Hey, Blaq, we got a question. You want to hear the question? This is from Jola.
Yeah.
This is from my main man, Jola. His question is this.
What up?
This is his question. Why did Trump have Michael Cohen give Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal hush money if he didn't do anything wrong?
That's what the court case is about, right? The court case is about, did he do something wrong? Because when you have a court system and you have a defendant and you have a prosecutor, the prosecutor has to prove his accusations, right? Now, if you listen to all the CNN and you listen to all what the people say about the case of Stormy Daniels' testimony, they said her shit. Even the judge got mad. You're seeing then, like, I don't even know why she was on the stand. Trump, even the jurors were turned off, right? So when you say Donald Trump done this, look who's testifying on Donald Trump. You're getting somebody who's a porn star who said she fainted when she saw Donald Trump dick, couldn't say too many details, right? Said she was scared, said somebody threatened her, you know what I'm saying? First she said she didn't have sex with Donald Trump, then she said she did, then she said she wanted the money, then she said the lawyer did it, then you have a Michael Cohen. Donald Trump is the greatest person in the world, right? He's doing shit behind Donald Trump's back. We don't know what Michael Cohen was going to do. So we got somebody, Donald Trump, who's a voted president, who millions of people believe, right? And you have a crackhead making money on TikTok. I mean, you have a ex-lawyer that's a felony, a convicted felon, a convicted thief, right? Getting money off of TikTok by talking about the case. And you got a porn star.
Yeah. So, okay. So you said something in there that I want to comment on. First off, the judge did not say why she here. The judge actually listened to the argument and says, because Donald Trump's lawyers, they had an objection. They said, why is she here? She don't have anything to do with bookkeeping. The prosecutor says, well, wait a minute. See, if Donald Trump never paid, if he doesn't know this woman, then there is no scandal. None of this ever happened. So we're going to show that Donald Trump knows this woman, that he was with this woman, that what she says happened, and we're going to break down their claims that she's not credible by proving through her testimony her credibility. We're going to show through her testimony what happened, and it's going to be up to them to discredit her and to prove that it didn't happen, because they've been saying for the last 5 years that I don't know this woman, I never met this woman, I never seen this woman. Oh, funny, she's got all these phone numbers in her fucking phone from when she was talking to you, right? She's got the phone numbers to your assistant, she got the phone number to your security guard, she can describe your fucking living quarters. Like, how could she do all this stuff if you've never met her? It is impossible for her to describe this scenario, for there to be all of these witnesses to it, because other people were there. So it was not that she just made this shit up. He's making it up. So why was she there? Even though if Donald Trump would have just said, I was with her, it would have been over with. None of this would have happened. But because he didn't do that, well, now he's got to deal with the other side. He got to deal with the repercussions. He got to deal with the repercussions of the fact that, well, he was fucking lying. So now his wife gets to hear about how he was having sex with this lady and about how he calls her honey bunch. And I wonder if he calls Melania a honey bunch. That'd be interesting to know. I'm waiting to see when she hits the stand. But I didn't start the timer, and we're at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so I think my time is up. So.
Okay. So now, when you say that the Stormy had sex with Donald Trump, there's no proof. There's only her word. There's no witness. There's no witnesses that was at any of the events that she said she was at to say, "Hey, I saw her at this event." Right? There's no text messages that show, "Hey, this is what he texted me," and things like that. There's no money trail to say this is where he took me. Right? There's the only thing she has was him and her in a so-called private setting. Now, if a female, if it's me and her in a private setting, he can say anything, right? She goes tell her uncle I had a small dick, big dick, I can't fuck. You know what I'm saying? I've done this, I've done that. Because guess what? It's my word against her word. Now, the thing is, she can get on there and she can say she done all of this. She done this, she done that, she done, I was here, I was there, the bedroom looked like this. And the cold thing, Donald Trump can't even say, my bedroom don't look like that. I don't have that in my bedroom. He can't say none of that because why? He has a gag order. So whatever she says, right, is her word against Donald Trump's word because no other witnesses and nobody else have ever testified that they saw this.
Well, see, this is. Let me start the timer. All right. So there is a way that Donald Trump could contest this, right? You know this, right? You know Donald Trump could get on the stand and tell the story of what happened, right? Unfortunately, Donald Trump cannot get on the stand and tell the story without lying because the truth is more than likely that he did meet this woman the way that he met her, the way that she described it. Donald Trump has said that he has never met this woman and he doesn't know this woman. And now she talks in the stand about how they met on numerous occasions, about how they saw each other at least 4 or 5 times over a couple years. And he invited her back to his room, but she showed up with her boyfriend. And she had a way to get in contact with him, to communicate with him. So who do I believe? Do I believe the person who says we met and this happened, or the person who said I never met the person before ever in my life? I don't believe the person who says I never met the person ever in my life because there's proof that you did. So you're probably lying, and you're probably lying because you're being deceptive because what the other person said happened probably did happen. Now, I don't know how Donald Trump gets around that other than to just get on the stand and tell the story, but I don't think he can get on the stand and tell the story without perjuring himself because there's a lot of fucking witnesses. There's a lot of witnesses. So there is that. But she is a porn star, and there's easy for people to not like her. So I guess there's that too.
Well, most people on cases that's defendants, their lawyer tell them don't hop on the stand because you know what I'm saying, you might give off a wrong impression or you might rub the jury the wrong way, or you don't need to get on the stand. Most people who are innocent or think they're innocent don't get on stand. It's mostly the guilty people who like to get on stand because they want to incriminate themselves. Donald Trump will be smart enough to get on the stand and defend himself because her story was fictitious.
Oh shit! You dropped out, Blaq. Where'd you go? Yeah, you're right, Miss Tawana. The gag order is not to talk outside of court, not in court. But yeah, we lost you, Blaq. I don't know where you went. There you go. You back again. Black Trump.
I'm back.
All
because her story was enough in the juror's mind and in the judge's mind that if he don't really get to win this case, it's a good grounds for appeal, right? And a lot of experts say that even on CNN, right? They were like, I don't know why they let her got it because Donald Trump and the lawyers objected and said, hey, man, we shouldn't let her do this because this is what's going to happen. You're going to get on there and talk about sex, and it's not about that. You know, the only thing they're trying to prove is that she has sex with it. We don't need to know the details. Now it went into some rape, and he a monster, and some people that tried to kill her and her daughter. I mean, that paints something in the jury head that has nothing to do with the case, because that talks about his personality and not about the crime. His personality and the person he is not on trial.
Well, that's the person he is the reason why he's on trial. I'm not sure that's the reason why they can't bring it up, but they did say that talking about the sex and being salacious with the story might influence the jurors in negative ways. And the judge said to Donald Trump's attorney, "You probably should have had some more objections when they brought up the stuff, because if you would have had more objections, this stuff wouldn't have got on the record. But you let it go, so it went. It's not the judge's fault. It ain't anyone else's fault but the lawyer's fault." And Donald Trump was sitting next to his lawyer, nudging him and elbowing him and telling him to stop it. And the lawyer wouldn't stand up and do it. So even Donald Trump understood, hey, they're not supposed to be talking about that shit. Hey, if she want to talk about my dick, hold on a second. We need to stop this and stop this now. But it's unfortunate that Donald Trump just can't take the stand and tell the truth, or that Donald Trump didn't tell the truth from the beginning. Because if he would have told the truth from the beginning, none of this would have ever happened. It would have never happened. But you understand the reason why he didn't tell the truth is because he wanted to win the election. And he knew the same way he knows now that this details getting out makes him look bad. And it doesn't make the conservative, Christian, right wing, really, the ones who are really, really religious, want to go with him. He doesn't want that shit to get out. That's why he wanted to stop it then. That's why he wants to stop it now. But the shit's getting out. Whether Stormy Daniels gets paid to tell the story or not, the shit's getting told. Because she says, fuck Donald Trump. I already owe him $500,000. I might as well tell the rest. So she gonna get her last little 2 kicks and stones thrown.
Now, Donald Trump, before he was president and running in that same election, he was being accused of everything from being a racist to grabbing bitches by the pussy, and all kinds of crime. I don't understand why you think that supposedly having sex with a stripper would have turned the election one way or the other. Like, oh, he's racist. Oh, he's talking about grabbing women by the pussy. Oh, he's this and that. Oh, but I can vote for him for that. But he had sex with a porn star. I just can't take that. I don't understand why people think that was such a big deal, and why Donald Trump had to try to hide that and keep that such a big secret, something like that. Like it was going to ruin his campaign. Amongst all the other allegations and lawsuits and things back in 1970, such as the what you call it, Park 5 and all of those stuff that was on him, and the moving and the racism, and he didn't want people to live up in his apartments, and all the history that they say. All of a sudden, this one thing is going to tip the scales one way or the other. Now, you can say what you want, but you have one opinion, and I have another opinion. You say he lying. I'm not saying he not lying or he telling the truth about having sex with her. I don't know, right? And that's not up to me to judge. But I don't know if he lying or I don't know if she lying. He could be lying. That's not up to me to judge, right? What's up for me to judge and what this case is about is, did he try to commit a crime by hiding something with financial things through a crooked lawyer that he, you know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, finish your sentence.
I mean, that's basically it, through a crooked lawyer. Like, he hired something through a crooked lawyer. Like, I mean, I don't understand what's the, like, you want me, like, I'm a supporter of Donald Trump.
Yeah. And
you want me to go against him for something that somebody I don't know or don't trust said.
Well, that is something. I'll tell you what. Donald Trump said today something that I didn't see a lot of people talking about. He said something like, the prosecutor doesn't know what was in my head, so they can't prove why I did what I did. Something to that effect. He's basically admitting, you're right, you got me. Everything you say I did, but you can't prove that the reason why I did it was to try to win the election. And you can't prove that I didn't do it to try to keep her from my wife. Therefore, I'm innocent of what you charged me with. That's basically what his argument is now.
And that's plain and simple.
Right. So and that is an argument, but it's a different argument from what was the first argument. I don't know this woman. I've never met this woman. I've never seen her before in my life. Okay, I took a picture with her one time at a golf course. Okay, Michael Cohen paid her, but I don't know why Michael Cohen paid her. It must have been something Michael Cohen had going on with her. Okay, well, maybe Michael Cohen paid her for me, but it wasn't for sex. Okay, maybe there's one person who's lying. It's probably the person whose story keeps changing every time a new fact gets revealed. And you don't have to believe it, but it isn't. I already don't like him. So it's easy for me to say, this motherfucker's lying. But it's not because I don't like him. It's because it's obvious to me that a person who changes their story every time a new fact is introduced is lying. Oh, Jola got one more question. One more question because I'm about to go to bed. Hold on, let's see. Another question. Why did Judge Eileen Cannon, oh, this is a good question here. Why did Judge Eileen Cannon, a Trump judge, just suspend the case in Florida indefinitely if Trump did nothing wrong? I know Black's answer to this one, but he already said it one time. But go ahead, Blaq. Why did she suspend the case in Florida if he didn't do anything wrong?
You tell her then. You tell her. I want to see if you know what I'm going to say.
Black Rosebud's going to say that if you're a defendant and you about to go to trial, you want more time if they're not ready, and you ready if they're not ready. So apparently the federal government is ready. Donald Trump is saying he ain't ready. He need more time. So he's going to try to force them to wait and mostly kick it down the road because hopefully he'll be president in about 4 or 5 more months. And then he'll be able to say, fuck this case. Fire, or actually the next time he's president, he's going to be like, imprison Jack Smith and imprison all the special prosecutors and everybody who was on these cases that was against me, that was federal charges. So that's the reason why. The reason why Judge Eileen Cannon did it is because she is following the Trump narrative to a T, and she doesn't give a fuck if she's impeached at this point. I don't know how much money that she gets from Donald Trump, but apparently they gave her a fucking yacht. This came out this week, that she got a fucking yacht, and someone gave it to her, and she didn't claim it, and there's going to be some more investigations, but it's probably not going to go anywhere because apparently judges can get paid. The judges can get paid, and the Republicans are paying them a lot of money to make decisions they want them to make. So there's that.
Is that what I was going to say?
What was you going to say, Blaq?
Now, who asked the question?
Huh? Oh, this is Jola's question. Jola.
Now tell me if you heard his definition. Now tell me if you're happy with my definition, right? It was, it has been documented, right, that the paperwork that was on the floor that they took pictures of at Mar-a-Lago was staged, right? The papers wasn't in the right order, and they put top secret on some of the things to make it look top secret, right? Then they filed it. They filed it under in the wrong places. When Donald Trump lawyers went to look for it recently, was smart. They waited to damn near the last day. They probably been knew about it, right? I'm keeping it 100. A smart lawyer would have done that, right? Because they wanted to delay it as long as possible, right? On the last day, when they supposed to go back to court, before they go to court, like, hey, wait a minute, I went into the such and such, and the evidence is not fitting the paperwork. This is not here and this is not there and stuff like that. They filed it wrong, right? And Jack Smith came in and say, wait a minute, right? We did do that, and this is why we done it. And the defense say, well, you wasn't supposed to do that because we supposed to have access to it, right? And we supposed to know, and the documents are supposed to.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
And the documents are supposed to be labeled and placed where they're supposed to be labeled at. And when they're not placed and labeled when they're supposed to be placed and labeled at, that's mishandling. So what happens is they took it back to the judge and said this is out of order. So what the judge say was Jack Smith, get the shit in order, right? And then come back and see me, right? And then when you come back and see me with your shit in order, we will set a trial date. until right now, we can't set a trial date because we don't know how long it's gonna take for you to get your shit in order.
Man, Blaq, you made me proud today, man. Y'all don't know. Me and Blaq been arguing about this topic for 2 days, and the fact that Blaq said that, right? Because this is the specific argument is what he just said. How that's what I was saying, and he was on a different shit. He was on some whole other shit, and was pissing me off because I was like, motherfucker, this is what it is. Blaq was like, nah, fuck that. I got an argument. I'm going with it. So I'm happy. Proud. I'm proud. Like
that's the argument,
hey.
Adrian. That's the argument I always had. I had no other argument. I had no other argument. I gave you the legal term because the argument we were talking about because you are talking about why he didn't have his trial last year, and I was explaining to you what a speedy trial is and who has the right.
Oh, that was speedy trial. That was the other trial because that's the one where you were going both ways.
This right here, I always had the same thing because I always talk about delaying the trial, right? And I gave you and I talked about the paperwork was out of line, you know, and that's mishandling the paperwork. Anytime the paperwork is not filed under the proper headings and under the proper place, that's mishandling documents because you're not supposed to go in there and take anything out without documentation of it.
Joe, look.
I don't give a fuck if it's top secret or not. You're supposed to let them know, hey, we took this out and this out. How can Donald Trump defend what's top secret or what's not top secret if you took the shit out?
Well, that's true. That seems to be a valid argument for Judge Cannon. I'm not sure if it's necessary for them, and it might be a different case with a different judge. Jola just said, no, Blaq. Judge Cannon and Trump kept doing anything to delay the trial, and that's why she's going to be disbarred. And it's possible. It is possible.
She's not going to be disbarred because, Jola, let me explain how the law works, right? She has the legal right. If they don't have, it's not, see what y'all fail to realize is, if they had their paperwork right, Donald Trump wouldn't have this argument. It's because the prosecution didn't have their paperwork that the judge can allow this. Y'all missing the whole point. It's not up to Donald Trump to keep this paperwork and keep this shit in order and filed right. It's not up to him. It's not up to him when they take stuff out to take documentation. Jack Smith said, we fucked up. Yeah, this happened. And because that happened, Donald Trump have an argument to delay the trial. If Jack Smith handled his business like he was supposed to, Donald Trump wouldn't have this argument. So you can't blame this on Donald Trump. Jack Johnson or whatever his fucking name Smith didn't handle his business.
You are 100% correct about that, Blaq. No debate for me on that specific set of facts. But as far as Judge Cannon, I didn't know this, right? I've never been to court before like this, so I didn't know this. But what I know now is that Judge Eileen Cannon is trying to prevent Jack Smith from challenging any of her orders, and she's doing this by submitting paperless orders, which means that she's not actually filing something with the court on paper that's presented. She's just saying, like, as if she was too busy to do something. So they're saying, oh, this is what we got to do. We got to do it real fast. So, yeah, so we're just going to stay the case until we get this information. And then the case is stayed. But there's nothing that Jack Smith can bring to the appellate court because there is no actual filing from the court. And she's done this. I've been through those files a lot in the last 2 days. The last 5 things that she said in court, she didn't say it in court because she does not want Jack Smith to challenge her because of what Jola said, her getting disbarred. If he's able to take her decisions to the court, and they're using the court system very well. She's using the court very well, and she's learning as she's going. Because on the other case, or when this case first got started, she didn't know what she was doing, and she was making a lot of mistakes, which was hurting Trump. Now she's figured out how to do it so that way she's helping Trump versus hurting him. So,
hey, so hey, if she followed the law and it hurts Trump, is that wrong? Because when she was following the law, the liberals all for it. But when she made a decision that they didn't like, you know what I'm saying? She was like, oh no. See, it only works when it favors one side. When it favors the other side, something is wrong with it. It's things that hurt Trump in her decision, and it's things that help Trump. That's what happens when a judge is not to favor one side or the other side. The judge is to make sure both sides are playing fair.
Mm-hmm. Well, so
You know what I'm saying? And the jury is to make the ultimate decision. But the judge is basically a mediator. Say, hey, you can't say that or you can't say this. Do you know what I'm saying? This is allowed, that's not allowed, this permissible. It's like a referee, right? So the judge goes by the law. And like it goes back to what I say. If Jack Smith would have had his shit together, she wouldn't have the power to delay it. She couldn't have delayed it by law. She couldn't have done it.
well, the problem is that she was already delaying it. So it was whether this delay happened or another delay happened, it was already being delayed.
You have to file motions in every case.
You're right.
Before you even go to trial, you have to file motions. Some of them motions, you know what I'm saying, you have to go to court for. There's no delay up in it. What happens is they wanted to surpass all the motions that Donald Trump wanted to file. And they said, we don't need these motions. The motion to keep some people out of court. The motion to keep certain tapes out of court. The motion to keep certain witnesses out of court. The motion to keep certain evidence out of court. You got to file these motions. And these things take time. And what people fail to realize is the federal court and that judge also has other cases and other trials that she must attend to. Donald Trump is not her only case on the calendar.
It's very true. So can I speak for a second? All right. So there's a couple of things that Donald Trump and Judge Eileen Cannon did in order to provide cover for him. By one, she gave him a trial date. I believe it was May or June, late May or June was his trial date, right? And like you just said, there's all these motions, all this discovery that has to happen. Well, they're probably months away from going through all of that information and starting the trial. Yet she did not change the original trial date, which meant that the trial that they had set for I don't know how many weeks, 12 weeks or whatever, was locked in, which meant that Donald Trump couldn't get another trial for 12 weeks or whatever the time was. They said the trial was going to be from when this one started, supposedly in late May, early June. So what she did right there was she's preserving her time, but it blocks him out from the other cases that we know are happening, because he's already been indicted for them. So now those other courts can't schedule their trials. They got to schedule them after. Second, when Donald Trump, when Jack Smith admitted that there was a discrepancy in the documentation, he opened the door for them to get the delay. So you're correct in saying that, well, it's Jack Smith's fault. It is his fault. He opened the door for them to do it. But it didn't mean that there wasn't going to be another delay, because no matter what, there's not enough time between now and when the trial is supposed to start in order for them to be ready for the trial to start. So it was going to be delayed inevitably no matter what, but now it's delayed indefinitely without any time frame, which is 100% in Donald Trump's favor until the Supreme Court comes back and says that he can be prosecuted for, or he doesn't have, what's the word that he says he has, immunity or whatever the fuck from committing any crimes.
Now, Donald Trump has always stated that they should have this court case after the election, right? He always stated that so he can campaign, he can fundraise, he can do all of that, because he called it election interference, right? If he's not allowed to do all of this, right? So what he's done is exactly what he set off to do in the first place, which everybody said should happen. These trials shouldn't be held in the middle of a campaign. It should be held after an election, or it should have been held like last year or 2 years ago or 4 years ago or something like that, right? When these crimes supposedly happen, right? But having right now is not right, fair to Donald Trump. So what happened is what happens with all the cases getting pushed back, because Fannie Lewis got to go back to court because she hired and made a mistake and fucked up and hired her and done all that. So she had to fire him. So that case had to be, because they got to get a new prosecutor. They got to do all that. They got to do new discovery. You know what I'm saying? They got to go to appeals court. So that's Fannie Lewis' fault. That's Fannie Willis' fault. That's not Donald Trump's fault for hiring this dude, for taking the money, for doing. That's Donald. If Donald Trump was smart for getting them kicked off the case, for getting it extended, Donald Trump was smart, because now all these cases happening after the election. And guess what? It's not because of Donald Trump doing, it's because all these prosecutors doing.
Okay, you done? You got 20 seconds left. You done?
I'm done.
Okay, so So first off, you said these cases should have happened 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Okay, well, first off, the first case didn't happen January 6th, right? So couldn't happen then, right? Couldn't happen a year ago. The shit hadn't even happened yet. The second case, the Georgia case, was investigated for a year. They had to put the whole damn conspiracy together. It took a year for them to put it together. And then they brought forward damn near 20 fucking people that was part of this damn RICO conspiracy of trying to overturn the election. So there was apparently a lot of investigation going on. It took 6 damn months for the grand jury, and then another damn 2 months for them to give us the results of the grand jury. So it doesn't have anything to do with the election. The other case, the New York civil trial, they've been this didn't happen until Donald Trump was president. Couldn't be prosecuted until after he was president, so it couldn't even get started until it was over. And then the documents case. The documents case is the one that was moving the fastest, and that's the one that happened the latest. So that one happened in 21. The document case happened in 21, 22. That's when they were trying to get the documents from him. So that's the reason why it didn't happen 2-3 years ago. The problem with Donald Trump is that he knew this stuff was coming, and that's why he declared his presidency 6 to 8 months earlier than anyone had ever declared it, probably in the history of the United States presidency. Like, so he knew that he was getting ahead of it by doing that. So then he can say, "Hey, I'm running for president, and they're only doing this to me because I'm running for president, because the cases couldn't be brought to trial, especially because it's the president." So there has to be all of this crossing the T's and dotting the I's in order to make sure that they're not making any mistakes. Because as we have seen, any mistake that's made is amplified. And of course, Donald Trump pours gasoline on top of everything. So there's that. But hey, yo, Blaq.
So,
Oh, go ahead. I'll let you get the last word. But I'm about to shut it down. But I'll let you get the last word.
you saying everybody makes a mistakes, right? And what's wrong with the judge telling Jack Smith to get all his shit together so it won't be a mistake in the trial and everybody and the trial goes right? So you can't say, the defense can't say, well, this wasn't right in appeal or something like that. What's wrong with the judge saying have all your shit in order before you come to court and represent something, unlike Bragg or anybody else, right? And you fail to realize, right, I said some people, it should have happened 6 years ago, 5 years ago, or the next year. You know, I didn't say, I understand indictments, but some of these trials, like the Georgia shit and all that shit, it could have been held next year. And for the simple fact that everybody knew it should have been held next year and not during campaign season, right? And the fact that they tried to rush it, they made a lot of mistakes. And making them a lot of mistakes, they gave Donald Trump every opportunity to delay the case. So when everybody's saying that Donald Trump doing this and Donald Trump doing that, Donald Trump lawyers and Donald Trump is only doing what the defense and the prosecution team is allowing him to do by keep fucking it up.
Hey, well, you don't have an argument from me there, because they definitely did make mistakes. Fannie Willis made a huge mistake with the whole fucking the dating the guy who she hired to be their prosecutor is fucking insane, right? When you're trying to prosecute the president, you would think that everything they did, they would know. Because the difference with Donald Trump and any other defendant is that he has infinite resources, and if nothing else, he can just say, just fucking delay it, like just figure out a way to make it stop, right? Keep filing appeals. Now, a regular human being doesn't have that kind of resources. Just keep filing appeals and filing appeals and filing appeals. But this dude's paying hundreds of $millions a month in lawyer fees. Like he can afford it. The average person can't. So when he talks about a two-tier justice system, none of us would be afforded this many appeals, this many delays, this many motions and hearings. He filed like 15 motions to delay the case that's active now before it got started in 2 weeks, to where the judge said, do not file another motion. That's it. No more. I'm not looking at no more. We're not taking no more. Like, they had to tell
Adrian, when I first hired my lawyer, he filed the same motions to delay. I need more evidence. I need more time. I got to get this video. I need to call this, collect this witness, right? And sometimes it'd be 3 months. You was You was knowing me then. You know how long that court case took. You saw me come read the paperwork, right? So it took years, and I was like, damn, I'm still going to court for this shit. You know what I'm saying? After 3 years, and I just got probation for this shit because they kept on filing motions. Oh, we need to file a motion because they need a discovery. They kept on filing motion, and I'm like, fuck it, extend it, because I'm trying to stay out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know that they ain't got shit on me. So I'm doing the same thing. But you notice how they extended it right up until they can't extend no more, and then something breaking happened. Oh, Fannie Lewis is fucking with us, such and such. Oh, we got to go stop the trial, and we got to do this shit. Oh, Jack Smith filed the paperwork. Oh, stop the trial, and we got his lawyers are smart. They been knew this shit, but they knew the perfect time when they exposed the shit right before they want to go to trial. They been knew it.
Yeah.
They been knew this shit. Like you say, he got the top lawyer. We don't have that access. He got the top lawyer. You think they just found out Fannie was fucking oh boy? They was running an investigation with the phone calls and the lawyers you think they got all that shit together in 1 week and had a trial and all that shit?
Look, they got that dude on the stand looking like a straight up fool. That black dude, the guy who was the partner that got fired because he tried to rape that girl. He got up there looking like a fool. Like, oh man, they started asking questions. Where you get this information from? Oh, I don't know where this came from. I don't know how I know this. Oh, it sounds like it's fucking attorney-client privilege and shit you about to talk about. Maybe you shouldn't be saying this shit. Oh, I don't know. Hey, magically this information came to my head. He got his homeboy to snitch and got to look like a damn fool. I hope they paid him. I hope they paid him for his testimony, because he's a disgrace to black people all over the world. That guy, I can't remember his name.
Look how, but that was their fault. You know what I'm saying? Because look how off guard they was caught. Donald Trump team, they wasn't off guard. They knew about the phone call, the boats, the cruises. They knew all that because they was running an investigation.
Yeah, because
just like they knew about the Jack Smith shit, they was running an investigation. You think they found out that all the documents wasn't in place in one day? They been knew this. It's a strategy, and it's smart.
Listen, I'm not saying that it's not a strategy. I'm just saying what it is. I'm saying that there's two parties to this, right? You gotta have a party that's willing to say, oh, there's a reason to delay it, then there's definitely a delay. Versus what's happening with Judge Marchand, where Donald Trump keeps saying he won't delay it for me. So they keep saying delay, and Judge Marchand is like, there's been enough delays. There's been enough. We're gonna go. We're going forward now. And Donald Trump is saying it's not fair. It's not right. They keep trying to speed this damn thing up. And Judge Eileen Cannon, she gives me all the time in the world. When I say I want to delay, she just give it to me. Oh, hey, it's almost over. And I know, you know how I know it's almost over? Because we have a Hunter Biden sighting. We got a Hunter Biden sighting in the chat. So once we get a Hunter Biden sighting, it's time to go to sleep.
Hunter Biden. What they say about Hunter Biden?
He says, if that Hunter Biden story wouldn't have been buried by the Biden administration and FBI, first off, who was the president when the Hunter Biden story came out? So when you talk about the Biden administration and Domino Human, you have to understand that the Biden administration didn't even exist when Donald Trump was trying to spread that story about Hunter Biden. But let us continue. By the Biden administration and the FBI.
It wasn't Hunter Biden. It was the military experts, you know what I'm saying, that wrote the letter that said it was Russian information that later backed up their story that said Tony Blinken was the one that told them the story and told them to sign it. They all said that. They said they know nothing about no fucking laptop.
So now let's talk about the facts of what happened, right? Before we go, we'll talk about the facts of what happened. We know now that Rudy Giuliani was running through Russia and Ukraine trying to get this information on Hunter Biden and Joe Biden. We know this for a fact. Do you agree with that fact or no? Because if you don't, then we'll just say that it didn't happen. We'll go to sleep. Okay, so you agree with that fact? Happen. Okay, so Hunter Biden.
So this I have to agree with everything you say, or are you gonna cut it short? Like
no. Because I'm only giving facts.
You just said. I mean, that's what you just said.
No. We have to establish where reality.
But you just said that.
Let me finish. So if I don't agree with you, okay. See, now you're cutting me off. You're cutting me off, right?
Because you. Let me finish. If I don't agree, I don't want to understand the rules.
No,
if you don't ask me some questions, I don't want to know. Am I trapped? Can I say my opinion, or do I gotta say to keep the show going?
No, what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is that
yes.
I don't have enough time in my night right now because I'm at the end of the night to argue with you about whether Rudy Giuliani was going through Ukraine and Russia
I'll
trying
say
to find his information. So if you say he wasn't, I'll say, okay, then that's fine. We'll have to talk about this another time because it's going to be a long conversation. We know that this was happening. We both agree that that's what was going on. I don't know. We both agree that Mighty Mac from the Mac repair shop is blind. But Mighty Mac said out of his own damn mouth that he's blind and he can't see. And he need to wear some glasses like DMC. He's so damn blind that he could identify Hunter Biden, even though he says that he can't see the person who's sitting directly across from him. So I don't know how he was able to identify Hunter Biden, even though he said he'd never seen Hunter Biden. And he even said in the interview that he was able to recognize the signature.
What does all this got to do with the election interference?
Oh,
like you're going off of man's eyesight.
I'm gonna. Okay, well, let me get to my point. The indomitable human, says that if the Hunter Biden stuff would have got out, none of this would have happened. But the Hunter Biden stuff was either stolen or hacked from Hunter Biden's computer or his iCloud account. And the reason why they tried to inject it the way they injected it was because they stole it. And they couldn't just say, hey, we stole this information, we want to give it to you. They couldn't do that. So they had to try to make up a story. The story they had wasn't fucking real. And that's the reason why it was blocked everywhere. And that's the reason why Mac is being sued right now. That's the reason why Rudy Giuliani is being sued right now. Even Fox News is being sued right now because of the bullshit they was putting out. So while Indomitable Human can say that the Hunter Biden would have turned the tails, well, so would the story of Stormy Daniels, fucking Donald Trump. It would have turned the tails of the election of 2016, and we don't know whether he would have won or not, but we know that he didn't want that information to get out. Now, show me where Joe Biden. One last statement. Well, show me where Joe Biden paid money to hide the Hunter Biden story.
Can I respond?
Yeah.
Right. Now, when you say he paid money, he didn't have to pay money. He had social media influence. They had a hearing, you know what I'm saying, where the documents was released about the FBI talking to Twitter. Mark Zuckerberg said the FBI talked to him, right, about taking stories like Hunter Biden, right, which was found out to be true off the internet, flag people, and even take people account that spread the information. Now, when you say that Joe Biden or he didn't pay for it or it didn't influence election, if people poll say if they would have knew about that, they wouldn't have voted for Joe Biden because they didn't know anything about that information about him and his son and the accusation and stuff like that, right? That was called election interference because you basically spread a lie about something, right? And then you block people from getting that information, right? Saying it was false. And then after the information came out a couple of days later, you said, oh, now we found out that all the stuff was true. Oh, and it was a laptop and it was a hard drive, you know, and Hunter Biden never denied any of the information. So what people are saying is, yes, it would have swayed people's opinion one way or the other if they would have had all the information.
Well, guess what, Black Rosebud, and I hate to say it in such a plain way. If the Republicans hadn't stole the information, they could have used it. But they stole it, so they couldn't use it. So when you want to say, hey, if we could have been able to tell more people about Hunter Biden, first off, I don't understand who's the person who says, if I would have known that Hunter Biden was taking naked pictures and putting them on his computer, I wouldn't have voted for Joe Biden. I would question that person's intelligence. Number one. This Indomitable Human is talking about his daughter's diary. Another thing that was stolen. And I don't understand why Republicans don't understand this, right? Because they mention the same shit over and over again. You can't take something that you stole and then put it in the media as if it were real. Because even if it is real, the fact that you stole it means you can't use it. The person who stole it is going to get sued. You can't do that. That's the reason why they come up with these fake ass stories that say, oh, somehow it magically appeared somewhere and then this or that stuff. And it never fucking works. It doesn't work. And if they're just trying to get the information out, then they're just trying to get it out. But when the truth is resolved, it's
can I ask you
proven
a
to be a
question?
lie. Go ahead.
Have you ever know anybody who stole a diary go to jail for a federal case?
Yes. Yes.
Besides Joe Biden, besides
lady.
the one that stole Joe Biden's daughter
That
of
lady.
diary.
That lady.
Besides anybody else.
I've never heard of this before, so this is the first time hearing about this. But guess what? She got what? You know who else got a bag? Who else went to jail for stealing something? The lady that took fucking Nancy Pelosi's laptop. She went.
You know some of the information that was in that book about Joe Biden taking showers with his daughter and stuff like that. Some of the things she wrote in that book about how old.
What you're saying right now is I'm not gonna let you even say it because it's not true, right? And I'm trying to.
The diary not true?
What you're saying is not true. There ain't no stories in there about Joe Biden taking showers with his daughter.
It's not?
No. Show it.
Okay.
You show it to me. Show me.
You can Google it.
No, I'm not Googling anything. You said it. You show it.
You want me to send it to you?
Sure. Send it to me.
That's an old story.
Listen, Indomitable Human says it wasn't about the naked pictures. It was about the nefarious deals. Oh, yeah. So wait, because I'm about to go to bed. It's 1 o'clock. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Indomitable Human. The Republican Party has been investigating Joe Biden. They've been through all of his personal records, all of his finance records, his family's finances. They've interviewed hundreds of witnesses. They've taken up probably tens of millions of dollars of our taxpayer money to prove that there hasn't been any evidence of Joe Biden doing anything wrong. So Indomitable Human, please, if you have it, if you have the goods that will allow the Republicans to finally catch crooked Joe Biden, please present it, because I can show you right now hundreds of pages of evidence that show that Donald Trump did what they said he did. I can show you hundreds of pages of evidence to show you that he did what they accused him of. And you and the Republican Party cannot present a single page of evidence that shows that Joe Biden has done anything that you've accused him of. Indomitable Human says, show me. And it just so happens. See, Blaq, this is why.
Can I respond? No, can I
go
respond?
Ahead, go. You respond, and I'm going to show Indomitable Human on the screen.
Okay, can I respond?
The actual evidence.
When you say that it has no evidence, right? We have pictures, we have text messages, we have witnesses, right? We have business partners.
Do you have evidence that says Joe Biden did something? That's evidence.
Yes.
No, you have no evidence that shows that Joe Biden did anything, that he took money from someone, that he gave money to someone in an illegal way. You have no evidence. Zero.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
If you have some, show it to me. I'll put it on the screen if you got something.
He received a check from his brother from $40,000 that he said that was a loan. There was no payment from Joe Biden or no bank statement or anything that's saying he gave his brother a $40,000 loan, right? His under the Biden family name, including sisters and married people, they have over 10 family members with shell companies.
You have no. Wait. No, you have no evidence of a crime. This. Don't tell me about conjecture. Don't tell me that people have businesses.
Can I finish?
No,
I'm almost finished.
no. I want you to say you have evidence. If you don't have evidence, say if you don't have evidence of a crime, just say you don't have any evidence of a crime.
I'm almost finished.
Don't tell me about the conjecture.
Okay.
You've been talking about the conjecture for 10 years.
Just like the Democrats.
No.
With Donald Trump present. Hold on. Just like the Democrats with Donald Trump present evidence and it got taken over by the DOJ. The Republicans, all they can do is present the evidence. It's not up to the Republicans to convict. They can't convict nobody. All they can do is present the evidence. It's up to the DOJ to convict.
All right, never mind. Don't worry about it. If you say that there's evidence, then that's the reason why Joe Biden has been